Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We live. We back, man. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, if you don't know, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. We are the leaders in single entry 3 max and 20 max content. But you know what I tell you, man. Have no fear. Does not matter what style contest you play. Small stakes, high stakes, doesn't matter, man. This is one of the best spots you can be in. Hit that subscribe button. Turn your notification bell on so you can be here rocking with us when the videos and content drop, alright? Also, do me one small favor while you at it and you clicking those buttons. Go on and scroll on over there and click that like button for your boy, man. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you for tuning in, alright? Go on and help it out, man. Help the channel grow. The likes have been up, man. Let's keep it up. Let's try to get to 150 on this. We want to get incrementally better, like all things in life, man. You want to improve and get incrementally better, man. We've been at 100. You know what? Let's go to 125. Let's go 125 on this one. Let's break them increments down to a little bit smaller. 125. I appreciate y'all. All right. This is my starting five if you new over here, man, where I bring you 5 plays that's more than likely going to be in my player pool. I always say more than likely because this is NBA. Injury news is throughout the day, before lock, after lock. You just have to be locked in to the news, all right? No pun intended. But let's get into it, man. Y'all know I don't like to hold you long. Got my lineup review. Going over my best lineups from yesterday's slate. Won't be a FanDuel lineup review. I actually didn't get my lineup in over there, so had to email them, get my money back. Just with dealing with DK, man, these last 2 slates, man, have been, oh my goodness, it's like they have been like end of the year slates with all the injury news and guys just getting ruled out unexpectedly. But you gotta roll with the punches and take it how it go, all right? So since we don't have a FanDuel review, I got 2 lineups pulled up. I got my highest scoring and I got my single entry from yesterday. So nice little reviews on that. People want to see the single entry, see how it turned out. All right, so we're going to do that for you as well. But first lineup, highest scoring lineup, 330 right here pretty much. At the top, yesterday's slate, man, like I said, a lot of injury news, crazy, like the end of the season slate. Switched up pretty much everything I had in the I had Maxey in the video, Collins, but Wemby started, Maxey got ruled out. Switched up a lot of things, but I had the plays. I was on the plays. I had Luka, I had Sengun, I had them in the lineup together. It just I couldn't get the rest of the pieces right, man. But we was on the right plays, just couldn't quite put the puzzle all the way together. All right. At the top, campaign 40% on, just everybody's chalk once Maxey got unexpectedly ruled out. 23 fantasy points from him, but we'll definitely take that. Didn't play a heavy minute workload, probably because some lingering effects of that illness. He only played like 23, 24 minutes, something like that. So right at a fantasy point per minute. Definitely was okay at 3,200. Didn't crush, and you didn't necessarily need him, but he was solid at 3,200. Sam Merrill here, 4,100. Saw he was getting the start. Knew they would need some shooting and some scoring against the Boston Celtics. He didn't quite get it going, man. Couldn't find the stroke out there tonight. Only 15 fantasy points for him. Definitely hurt in this spot. Dean Wade was the guy you needed. He was shooting the laces off that thing. Kelly Oubre, 26% on, just solid. Once Maxey was ruled out, they already have no Embiid. All those Philly guys with value. I was having 2 and 3 Philly guys in some of my lineups. Kelly Oubre, 26% on. Nice game off the bench. I was shocked that he didn't get the start here in this spot, but still played a solid game off the bench, man. 44 fantasy points. Still saw, I think, like 30 minutes here, 31 minutes, somewhere around there. But very solid for him off the bench, 44 fantasy points. Didn't get as much as Oubre as I wanted. I had a lot of Oubre, but once he wasn't starting, I got a little nervous, so I dialed it back a little bit. But he was solid off the bench, like I said. Tobias Harris, 26% on, man. Only 35 fantasy points from him. Needed more from him here in this spot, man. I thought he would help shoulder the load with no Maxey and Embiid. Didn't quite do a good enough job for us here in this spot. Nick Claxton, 6,700, 20% on. I was actually shocked. I thought he'd be a little lower on, but Like what? Yeah, I thought he would be a little lower on in this spot. Didn't really think nobody would be looking at him here going against the 76ers. But 20% on, 41 fantasy points. He was solid. Darius Garland, 18%, was okay. Got a double for us, man. Just needed a bigger scoring output. But they were still somehow able to get the win here against the Celtics. 39 fantasy points. He didn't destroy you, but definitely could have used some more from him. Got the Jimmy Butler here. 8,100, 49 fantasy points. Before we got all that Maxey news, I was actually liking some of the Heat guys, Butler, Bam, and Rozier. I still like them after that news, but just a little less. I still got the pieces of Butler, Bam, and Rozier throughout my lineup. Butler at 10% on, dropped 49 fantasy points. Solid for us here against the Pistons. And then the crown jewel, man, one of my favorite plays last night once we got all the news and everything settled down. Just Alfred Sengun. Told the gang I wanted a lot of Sengun. I did get to him. But like I said, we just did not pair it right together. It just couldn't fit the pieces together. You'll see when we go look at my single entry, all right? So this is my $12 single entry from last night, man. 288. And you can see, looks very similar. Some few pivots, but had Luka, had Sengun together, man. I should have been walking to the front of the line here. Campaign 62% on over here in this single entry, 23 fantasy points. Sam Merrill was 54% on. We already talked about his failure. Tobias Harris just didn't give us enough here at 7,200. Jordan Nwora was trying to get different, man. I knew guys like McBride and Payne and Tobias were going to be chalky. I didn't think Merrill was going to be this chalky, but trying to get to a different value piece with Toronto being shorthanded over there. Thought Nwora could pick up some extra minutes. He played. He was okay at 3,400. Did not kill us. He right up there with Campaign, man. 20 fantasy points. So just needed more from him here in this spot. But we'll take what we got. Sengun, man, 17% on this single entry. I saw the ownership. I was loving it. He put together the performance for us, man. 83 points, 45 real life points here in this spot. Monster game from him. Got to McBride here as well, 39% on once no Brunson was over there again. Definitely got to some of these Knicks guys. McBride, 39% was my favorite. 32 fantasy points, just okay at 5,500. Cam Johnson here got hurt. Nothing I can really do about that. Just trying to get different. Once again, with some of my lineup here, I knew I had those Philly players. Nobody was really coming back to those Nets guys. And lineups when I had like 3 and 4 Philly, I always try to get a little running back because when you're getting 4 and 5 guys from a team, man, if they're not super cheap, it's probably best to have a little run back. There's not a lot of correlation in the NBA, but if 4 guys from one team getting there that's not super cheap, it had to be a close game or just an outright blowout, one-sided. But more than likely, it's a good game, and the other team is competitive as well. So I try to find a piece to get over from the other team. But Cam Johnson, like I said, got hurt. Nothing you can do about it. Just got unlucky there. If he plays, maybe we get to the cash line here. But nothing you can do about that. Then Luka, 12-2, 72 fantasy points. Had plenty of Luka as well. He was 44% on over here. So I had 2 pieces that you needed to take something down. You didn't need, but definitely helped you take something down. And just didn't get the rest of the lineup correct. But that was my night. Lost like half my buy-in on DK. So we'll live with it. Let's get to tonight's 8-game slate, man. Another 8-game slate. And it could be just as crazy as the first 2 this week. Plenty of questionable tags. Plenty of guys we have no idea if they're going to play or not. You know me, man. I bring it to you as I see the slate right now. How I would try to attack it if the slate was locking in 20 minutes. This is my starting 5 for you. At the top, point guard. I want to look at Campaign. I don't mind going right back to the well. Only played 23 minutes last night, but like I said, he was coming off of illness, so maybe he didn't feel as good or whatever. Should be feeling better today with another day removed from that illness, and he played 23 minutes last night. But the caveat here is, I don't know if Kyle Lowry plays that many minutes tonight as he did the other night. We saw Kyle Lowry play 36 minutes last night, getting the start. Second night of a back-to-back. It's later in the season. Kyle Lowry is an older player. Like I told you before, this is when I started to take into account the back-to-backs. So I don't know if they want Lowry playing 36 minutes again on this second night of a back-to-back. Like I say, he's a little older. They want to preserve him a little bit, I would imagine. So I think Campaign could see more minutes here. I expect him to start again, long as Maxey is out, which he should be with the mild concussion. I like Payne in this spot. Think he picks up extra minutes at 4,100 here. Don't mind going back to him. If he gets 30 plus minutes, you're going to want him in this spot. Sign me up for Campaign at 4,100. I think we can go right back to Kelly Oubre at 5,500. They're playing the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis G League Grizzlies. They may get Jaren Jackson back tonight, though. We'll have to see. That's definitely a good step into keeping this game more competitive. But Oubre going against a team squad like the Grizzlies, lack of defense over there. These are spots he pick on, man. You know he's going to shoot whatever he wants, and he's a guy that can get hot and fill it up. I definitely don't mind going back to Kelly Oubre at 5,500 going against these Grizzlies. At the small forward, man, sign me up for LeBron James. I'm just going to continue to play him. He's ramping up. I told you, getting ready for his playoff workload. They need to win. They try to stay out of this play-in tournament. And the West is extremely tough. It got a nice, scrappy Sacramento Kings team here tonight. They're playing in L.A. Think LeBron can help lead the charges. It's the him and AD show over here for the Lakers, man. LeBron, he really been playing he's going to be 10K probably tomorrow. Next slate he play, man. He's been playing well. He's live for a triple-double. He attributes across the board. It's the King James. I ain't got to break down to you what he do, man. Give me King James at 9,800. At the power forward, want to look at Bobby Portis. Going to need that Giannis news, obviously, but he's questionable with an Achilles. I don't think they really want to chance it. So if Giannis goes, I'm pretty sure he's good to go and full on and you can play him. But if he doesn't, man, I don't mind going right back to Bobby Portis, 6,200. Now, they didn't start him last time. They just love to bring him off the bench for some reason. But he still got big minutes. Played well. I expect him to continue to get those minutes if Giannis is out. And I like the price tag, 6,200 here going against the Warriors. At the center, I want to look at Jared Allen, man, 7,300. Great spot here against the Atlanta Hawks. Pace-up game for the Cavs. They coming off a big win against the Celtics, but they did have some losses in that game. They're going to be without Evan Mobley tonight, and that what makes me have interest in Jared Allen. We seen Allen earlier in the season in this type of spot. Wasn't really these two guys out. It was Mobley and Garland out early in the year, and you saw Allen get more heavily involved into the offense. More dribble handoffs up top with him and Donovan Mitchell. His assists went up, all of the above. Now, hopefully that just wasn't, but they didn't do that just because it was a great way to get Donovan Mitchell open. I expect them to continue to see some more of that work. I expect them to be heavily involved in the offense. I'm not going to say heavily, but a little more involved in the offense. Maybe him and Garland could do some dribble handoffs up top like him and Mitchell was when the other two was out. But Allen does see an increase, or he has seen an increase this season when two of the stars, two of the big players have been out for the Cavs. So we have that here with Mobley and Mitchell in this spot. I expect Allen to step up his involvement in the offense and get his assist totals like it was the first part of the season when Garland and Mobley was out. But love the matchup, love the game environment, pace-up game for the Cavaliers. Jared Allen here, 7,300, sign me up. All right, there you have it, your starting five for DraftKings. Campaign, Kelly Oubre Jr., LeBron James, Bobby Portis, and Jared Allen. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. You know they're going to be in mine, all right? Let's get on over to FanDuel and see what I'm feeling over there. FanDuel at the top, man. Definitely still Dame time if Giannis is out. I mean, Dame is in play even if Giannis plays. So he's just one of those plays that could get better. He's a solid play, good play. I like him. I'm okay with the price tag here. He was ramping it up anyway before Giannis was out, him and Giannis together. So he's a solid play whether Giannis plays or not. And then if Giannis gets ruled out, man, it just boosts him tremendously. So love some Dame Lillard over here on FanDuel at 8,900. At the shooting guard, staying with campaign, man. 4K over here. Like I said, I expect the minutes to be up in this spot. I don't think they want to run Laurie out there for 36 again. And campaign, if he gets 30 plus minutes, he's definitely going to return you value on this 4K price tag. At the small forward, I don't mind going back to Tobias Harris. Expect him to improve his performance a little bit more than he did last night. Now, Jaren Jackson coming back could help strengthen this Memphis Grizzlies defense, but I don't think it affects Tobias Harris that much. Expect him to get back on track, get it rolling here at 7,400 against this Grizzlies team. Sign me up for some Tobias Harris in this spot. At the power forward, stand with Jared Allen, man. I like Jared Allen today. This game environment, man, I'm expecting him to be heavily involved, okay? Now, a little bonus play for you as well. Coming to the other side of this game, this finally could mean 30 minutes for Clint Capella. I'm going to get to some of him in my 20 max. I don't want to risk it in my single entry stuff, but the last couple of games against the Nets, a team that like to go small. Well, just since the All-Star breaks, this is Capella coming back, man. We seen him be limited to 20 to 25 minutes, 27 minutes, that range there. Maybe in this spot against a larger center like Allen, Capella could see 30 minutes in. So he could be a little sneaky play, a little bonus added in play for you. But I like Jared Allen 7,800. Like I said, I'm expecting him to be more involved in the offense with no Mobley over there. And then at the center, got some interest in Duop Reef. Now, we're going to need that Aiden news. He's doubtful, so I'm pretty sure he is out. Don't mind going Duop Reef here in this spot. He's been playing very solid, man. Tough matchup against the OKC, but they give it up to the center spot, man. The Thunder are not that strong fantasy-wise against the center. So Duop Reef been playing well whenever he does get the minutes. Like going to him at 5,700. Should be without Ayton over there for the Trailblazers. And then, for whatever reason, if Ayton is ruled in, we can move off of him and do something else. But there you have it, man. Your starting five for FanDuel. Duop Reef, Jared Allen, Tobias Harris, Cam Payne, and Damian Lillard. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. You know they're going to be in mine. That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.